Generational Gauntlet Top 5 Faves. This is the podcast where we give you our top 5 on a topic with a generational twist to it. My name is Matt Lambert, and I'm the host of this podcast. Each week, I bring in a guest who's from a different generation than me to discuss or debate our top 5 on a selected topic. Today's guest is someone who multiple listeners have requested to make her return. My mom, Vickie Lambert, Gen X, one of the top 5 most streamed podcast episodes in this podcast's history, is back. So, Mom, number one, does it feel good to be back on the podcast?
Yes, it does.
Does it feel good to be back on here by popular demand?
Well, sure, of course.
Well, for everybody listening, if I was going to bring my mom back, we had to go with a topic that would just speak to her soul. And my mom is probably going to blush, and she might even cringe behind her microphone right now. But my mom is an incredible singer. We're talking about a range that fills a room. When I was young, me and one of my buddies would be like, man, she could probably shatter a glass with how high her voice can get. And with a voice like that, and someone with an ear for music herself, we're covering who we think are the top 5 singers today. Now, we set a couple of rules for us today. Number one, it had to be people who are famous. Otherwise, my mom would probably have to be on my list, or not have to be, she would be on my list, and she's probably performed with some people in her singing days that would make her list. Number two, these are not our favorites. Now, maybe my mom, did you go your favorite route, or is this just who you think's the best?
Yeah, who I think's the best.
Okay, yeah, because I want to be clear. My list, I'm not fans of a lot of the music on my list, but I was like, real recognize real when it comes to singing talent, and that's what we're going with. Who just pure best voice, most talented. So, Mom, I have a few questions for you before we get rolling today. Number one, you've sang a lot in your career or in your life. Like, what's that looked like? How many years have you been singing, like in choir or different things?
I've been singing since probably 5th grade, elementary school.
Okay, so
I mean, of course, I sang since I was a little tiny child, but started singing in choirs and in programs in 5th grade.
Okay, and I feel like you're downplaying and kind of sugarcoating your talents. So I'm going to note here that you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but you have performed with West Virginia's own, the Wallaces, and you performed with the country artist Jeremy Adkins, who released Greetings from Cripple Creek in 2003. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right, so some big names. Put some respect on your name. That's what I want you to do here today. So my mom, like she said, been singing for years. I remember my mom performing all the time. She is somebody who has an appreciation for music, has an appreciation for good voices. I'm very interested to hear her top 5 today. So for any first-time listeners, here's how the whole podcast works. My mom and I have each put together our list for our top 5 singers. I don't have any idea on her list. Maybe one that I would be surprised if it's not on there, but otherwise I don't know her list. She doesn't know a thing about mine. My mom will give her number 5, why they made number 5. I'll give my number 5 and why, and then we'll continue in that fashion until we get to each of our number 1s. So with that, Mom, I'm going to hand it to you. Who was the number 5 singer on your list?
Okay, first of all, I want to say that Matt's not giving himself props. Matt also is a very good singer, and he has sang in many choirs, and he's very good.
This is Cap. This is Cap.
And then also I want to say that I'm definitely not an expert on the best voices of all time. I think everyone would differ in what they think sounds the best.
Okay, that's true.
Personally, I love vocal range and powerful voices, but that's just me.
That's because that's you.
Struggle. Go ahead. What?
I said that's because that is you. That's you. That's your singing style. So
that's true. That's true. I struggled to narrow down number 5. There are so many amazing voices out there like Kelly Clarkson, Mandisa, Natalie Grant, and I almost put Teddy Swims, but I had to go with my girl, Alicia Keys.
Oh,
She is
okay.
super talented, There is just something about the tone of her voice, and she has so much emotion when she sings. She can write, play piano, and sing. She is a powerhouse. She actually graduated at age 16 and is very gifted. And I just love her songs, I Ain't Got You and New York. So I'm going to have to go with her for my number five.
I did not see this one coming. Now that you said it, I should, because I know you have an appreciation for her music.
Yeah.
My mom knows I think Alicia Keys is very talented. I'm not a huge fan of some of her solo work. Like This Girl Is On, I think she's This Girl Is On Fire, right?
Yes.
Yeah, not a big fan of that. I do like when she appears in like hip hop songs and sings the refrain. I'm here for that. But definitely a powerful voice. Should have seen this coming now that you said it, but was not on my radar. But can totally respect you having her on your list. I will tell you she does not make mine. So my number five, this is interesting. Mom, the last time we recorded, we did the top 5 Super Bowl halftime performances. And one of the ones on my list was Bruno Mars. And Bruno is making a list again when you're on the podcast. So he's my number 5. I think Bruno Mars has some of the best range I have heard in a male singer's voice. And if you do a little research, Bruno is known for having a 3-octave tenor vocal range. So I did some digging into this whole octave thing, as it's something that kind of drove my list here today. A singer's octave range is the total span of notes they can comfortably and accurately produce with their voice from their lowest to their highest note. Even trained singers only average 2 to 3 octaves, with 5 or more being like the top tier, the S tier. If you're still confused on what octaves are, we're talking a span from bass, baritone, tenor, contralto/alto, mezzo-soprano, soprano, and then some outliers that we'll talk a little bit more on my list today. So Bruno has some range since he's above average in terms of having a 3-octave range. Now, as I looked at Bruno, I did not know this, he actually gained recognition as a child by conducting impersonations of Elvis Presley in Hawaii. So if anyone wanted a random Bruno Mars fact, there you go. I became first aware of Bruno in 2009 when he was on Bob's Nothing on You. His voice on Uptown Funk, which is Billboard's best performing song of the 2010s, was phenomenal. And while I didn't allow awards to completely drive my list today, I went by, what I like in terms of the voice, people that I think are super talented, I think awards kind of just bear it out even more. So if you're doubting Bruno Mars's prowess, I'm going to quickly list his accolades. He was the first artist, or actually the only artist, to surpass 150 million monthly listeners on Spotify. He's won 16 Grammys, 17 American Music Awards, 9 Billboard Music Awards, 5 Brit Awards, 7 MTV Video Music Awards, and 14 Soul Train Awards. And like his 2009 entry into mainstream fame, very few singers have nothing on him. So he's my number 5. Mom, was he anywhere on your radar today?
Yes, he was. He's not in my list of my top 5, but he actually was one I considered.
Okay,
So,
I like it. Yeah.
very good choice.
Oh, very talented guy. Very talented.
Yeah.
Did you, after our Super Bowl halftime one, did you go back and watch his performance at the halftime performance again?
Oh, yes, I have.
Yeah,
Yes.
very good. Well,
Yeah.
I'll kick it back to you. Who is your number 4 singer?
My number 4 is John Legend. He's
Ooh,
another
okay.
one that is really talented. His voice is pure, smooth, and soulful, and he can sing low but also high. I read somewhere that he started studying music and piano at age 4. And a couple of my favorite songs of his are All of Me and Tonight, and I love to listen to his voice. And it's funny that you talked about the octave vocal
Hmm.
range, because I touch on that myself in the top 5, so
Okay.
that's pretty neat.
Yeah, that is. It's funny that we both went that same route. I,
Exactly.
I'm catching kind of a theme on yours. Yours has got a lot of soul to it,
Yeah.
maybe like some gospel kind of type leanings to it. So
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you, John Legend, nowhere on my radar for you or for me. But now that you mention it, I don't have any qualms about it. That's a really good selection. Just, you're right, really just pure sound to his voice. Super talented guy. So definitely can
Yes.
get on board with that one. Well, my number 4, maybe not as soulful as how your list has been going. My number 4 is Ariana Grande. And I know this is another recent one since I went with Bruno Mars first, but Ariana has a 4-octave range, and she has what is called the whistle register. Now, Mom, have you ever heard of the whistle register before?
No.
Okay, so the whistle register means that someone has the highest range a human voice can actually reach in terms of the notes it produces. So Ariana hits notes in songs that are physically impossible for most of the world's population. Obviously, Ariana's killing it right now with music and film with the Wicked franchise. There was a song she was in years ago. I can't even remember the name of the song, but it was Jessie J, Nicki Minaj, and her range in that song is just incredible. Quick hit of her accolades here. Ariana has sold over 90 million albums. She's the highest paid female musician, or was the highest paid female musician in 2020. She's won 3 Grammys, a Brit Award, 2 Billboard Music Awards, 3 American Music Awards, and 13 MTV Video Music Awards. And for a woman whose face and voice appears to be everywhere today, she continues that trend by making a spot on my list. Does she make a spot anywhere on your list today?
No, but I didn't even think of her, but that's a great choice.
Yeah, just her voice is just incredible. And honestly, if not for my top 3, who I think are just like some of the goats of singing, she could have been much higher on this list if not for them. So I'll hand it back
Yeah.
to you for your number 3.
My number 3 is Christina Aguilera.
Oh,
I
okay. I did not
did you
see
think
that
of
one
that one
coming.
for me?
No, I did not.
I seriously think she is so underrated as a singer, and she actually has a 4-octave vocal range as well.
Okay.
And, that and the same as what you said, the lowest chest note to your highest head voice, and only 1 in every 10,000 singers have this.
Dang.
Um, she can sing soft, but then she can belt out a song. She was first known for Genie in a Bottle, but I actually remember her at age 12 from the new Mickey Mouse Clubhouse with Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears. Do you remember that?
I do not. No, I mean,
Okay.
I know she was on there, but I know that after the fact. Genie in the Bottle was the first time I had heard of her.
Okay. And I thought when I heard her at age 12 that she was really good. And some of my favorite songs that she sings are Beautiful and Bound to You. So she is my number 3.
Well, I do like that you went. I didn't know if we were going like all 5 for you. We're going to be in that kind of same genre of music. So I feel like you stepped outside of that. She'd be more in what I would call the pop genre. So,
Yes.
but now that you mention her, definitely very talented, big voice. I mean, shoot, as a teenager growing up when she got big, her and Britney Spears were like everywhere in terms of female pop singers. So I feel like they were kind of like battling it out for supremacy. So definitely a
Yes.
very good entry to your list. I have 2 on my list that I'm going to be shocked if they're not in your top 2. We'll see here in a moment. But my number 3 is one of those ones that I suspect is on yours. And that is, actually, I won't say the person's name yet. I want to kind of lead into this. So we're recording right now. It's July. This episode will release in August. But for me to drop this person's name, we should probably be recording this episode in November or December, as this would be that woman's time. And my number 3 is a woman who only wants you for Christmas, Mariah Carey. I think a list without Mariah would be disingenuous for me. In 2023, Rolling Stone ranked her as the number 5 greatest singer of all time. And I truly believe Mariah Carey was part of the living embodiment of the 1990s. And as a kid growing up in that time, I remember her hits like All I Want for Christmas, Always Be My Baby, Honey, and the list goes on. Mariah has a 5-octave vocal range. And like Ariana Grande, she also is able to utilize the whistle register. So basically, Mariah hits notes that are possible for very few human beings. She has double, in terms of her octave range, what a trained musician usually has. Just to hit a quick list of her accolades, she's sold over 220 million records. She has the most Billboard Hot 100 singles for a single artist with 19. She's won 5 Grammys, a Grammy Global Impact Award, 10 American Music Awards, 19 World Music Awards, 14 Billboard Music Awards, and she's in the Songwriters Hall of Fame. And for a voice that very few can imitate, And for attacking all of our senses during the holiday shopping season, she's number 3 on my list. Mom, does Mariah make your top 2 today?
No, she does not.
Whoa! Okay, I am very surprised. I thought Mariah Carey for sure was gonna be like your number 2 today. I
No.
am I am blown away. Was Mariah anywhere in consideration?
Uh, I thought about her for a moment, but I did think she was gonna be on your list.
Okay, why did you think she was gonna be on mine?
I just think that was your kinda era and, she's pretty.
Oh, I mean, like, every boy my age probably had a crush on her at that time in
Exactly,
the '90s.
exactly.
Yeah, 100%. So,
Yeah.
definitely made my list. Well, I'm now very curious to hear who your number 2 is. Who made your number 2 today?
My number 2 is Celine Dion.
I did
Um,
not see this one coming.
she was known for singing the big hit from your favorite movie, Matt,
Oh,
Titanic.
gosh. Oh, such a bad movie.
I'm just kidding. I actually got to see her live in Las Vegas, and she sings so good in person too. I know she had some serious health problems here recently,
Mhm.
which is so sad, but I bet that she could break glass back in her prime. She's someone that gives me cold chills when I hear her sing. And just like who I mentioned with Christina Aguilera, she has a 4-octave vocal range
Mhm.
as well. And some of my favorites of hers is All by Myself and Because You Loved Me. So, yeah.
This one surprises me. I agree. She has a good voice. The Titanic song, I think none of us will ever be able to forget that, unfortunately. But I just did not see this one coming. You have went all over the map with your styles of music, which I
Yeah.
can respect. It's just you had some coming out here that I did not see coming. And there's one that I thought was going to be on your list that unless it's your number 1, I'm going to be very surprised. But my number 2 is, I'll just say it, it's who I think is gonna be your number 1, and if I'm wrong, I'll be shocked, but my number 2 is Whitney Houston,
Yes,
and
you're correct.
is that your number 1?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna steal some of your thunder here, I apologize, but, when your nickname is The Voice, you have to make a list of the top 5 singers. And I'm gonna say while her range is only, like only is a bad thing, it's only 3 to 3.5 octaves, she has a voice that everybody recognizes. In 2023, Rolling Stones ranked her the number 2 greatest singer of all time. So real recognize real. Obviously, Whitney became huge in the 1980s, so a little bit before my time, but she continued her music stardom in the 90s. She starred in films. Mom, what are some of your favorite Whitney Houston films?
Oh, wow. I can't even think of one right now.
I think you like The Bodyguard, right?
Yes,
The
yes,
Preacher's
definitely.
Wife. I
Yes.
remember you watching those when I was growing up. So as soon as I
Yes.
thought about this list, what I started hearing, and I'm not going to imitate this because I do not have a 3 to 3.5 octave range, is that I will always love you, just that long, drawn out Um, I don't know how the human voice can do things that sound so amazing. So Whitney's accomplishments, she's got 220 million records sold, 11 number 1 hits on the Billboard Hot 100, the only artist to have 7 consecutive singles top the chart. She's in numerous Hall of Fames. Do you know how many awards she's won in total?
No.
Did you look it up?
No, I did not.
So she has won 437 awards during her career. That
Wow.
included 22 American Music Awards, including 8, which was a record, in one night in 1994, 20 NAACP Image Awards, 16 Billboard Music Awards, and 6 Grammys. And I will leave her musical catalog alone for a moment because I don't want to steal all of your thunder. She's my number 2. Mom, you said she's your number 1, right?
Yes.
What am I leaving out? Talk to us. Why is she your number
Well,
1?
I thought you would guess that this was my number 1 because I probably had every one of her CDs when you were growing up,
You did.
and
You did.
and I sang her songs all the time.
Uh-huh.
Um, she had such a crazy vocal range. Her runs were amazing, and she could hold super long breaths when she sang.
Mhm.
She always made it look so easy, and anyone who sings high knows that it is not easy. And to touch on what you said, she was actually discovered by Clive Davis, who also discovered Alicia Keys.
Hmm,
And he
didn't know that.
discovered her while she was singing as a background singer for her mom, Cissy Houston. Can you imagine someone that good being a background singer? And
That's
that
wild.
just yeah, that just goes to show you that everyone starts somewhere. And I read that she was considered by experts to have a voice that was considered perfectly in tune.
Hmm.
And I believe that she sang one of the best renditions of the Star Spangled Banner that I've ever heard, which was at the 1991 Super Bowl. And one of my favorites you mentioned was I Will Always Love You.
Hmm.
And then I loved Greatest Love of All and I Have Nothing. And she was great.
Yeah,
So,
it's funny. You mentioned a couple of the songs that I was thinking of for her musical catalog. I Want to Dance with Somebody. That's one that I've like very vividly remember. So yeah, definitely somebody that when we sat down, initially I was like, I don't know any on your list. And I was like, Whitney Houston got to be on it. Again, very surprised Mariah Carey didn't make your list. I thought she would. But you might be surprised by my number one. I'm just going to ask, you got any guesses on what you think my number one might be today?
no.
All right, so my number one, I am going way back in the time machine here, and I'm going with Aretha Franklin.
Okay,
I'm
that's
going with
great.
the Queen of Soul, a woman so talented that in both 2008 and 2023, Rolling Stone said she was the greatest singer of all time. So in two different lists, 15 years apart, they still ranked her number one. So I had to put some RESPECT on her name, the one, the only, the GOAT, Aretha Franklin. So Aretha, we've been talking about this octave range. She had an octave range of 3.5 to 4. So very on par with what we've been talking about today with our other talented singers. She was above average for even a trained singer. But I think the word average should not ever be used when talking about Aretha Franklin. She absolutely rocked the world with songs like Respect, You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman, I Say a Little Prayer, Rock Steady, Chain of Fools, and her accolades, she's an absolute powerhouse. She sold 75 million records. She has 112 hits that have made the Billboard Hot 100. She won 18 Grammys, a Grammy Living Legend Award, a Lifetime Achievement Award, the National Medal of Arts, the Presidential Medal of Freedom, and in 1987, she was the first woman inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And she's got other Hall of Fames to her name as well. And I don't care that her music is on the older side of things. We talk about on this podcast, it's generational. We're talking about what the different generations think, kind of like, with what you grew up. But I think her music and her voice has stood the test of time. And she holds her own in the annals of history in my own personal record book today. So I have to ask, was Aretha anywhere on your radar when you were working on your list?
Yes, she was. She was definitely in my top list. I just didn't put her in my top 5, but no, that's a
Okay.
great choice.
Yeah, I went back and listened to some music as I was preparing for this because I was like, I can't put somebody on my list without listening. And as I did research, I thought about her, and she probably initially would have been like my number 5. And then as I went back and listened to some of her music, I was like, whew. I was like, this is just something that I don't know how you can do that with your voice and with the energy and just like all the enthusiasm. And after listening to my top 5, I ended up jumping her all the way to number 1. So I'm glad Rolling Stone backed me up on it, but very talented lady. I do have to ask you, who are we missing? Was there anybody that that you're surprised that neither of us had today?
No, no, can't think of anyone.
I mean, if we hadn't set this famous parameter on it, we would have put you on the list today. So, which would have
Oh,
made you get very uncomfortable when I put you in my top 5. So, for your sake,
you're
we went
too
with
sweet.
we went with the famous thing for you to not cringe and blush during this
You're
podcast.
biased because 'cause I'm your mom.
Nah, I had friends say it too. You were killing some notes back in the day. I remember walking into places. I could be outside and be like, "Oh, that's my mom singing. I know who that is." But mom, any beef with my list today?
No, not at all. You had a great list.
Well, I thought you did as well. Like I said, very surprised by some of your entries, but The only one that I could say that I'm, like, not a big fan of the music is Celine Dion, but that's just because she's associated with the Titanic movie, and if anybody's been listening to the podcast, you know how I feel about that film. Not one that I ever wanna see again. But Mom, I appreciate you jumping on here with me today, and for all the listeners, thank you all for tuning in. If you've not done so yet, like, subscribe, leave us a 5-star review, let somebody else know to check this podcast out. If you have a suggestion for a topic that you'd like us to cover, you can send those topics in to generationalfave5@gmail.com. That's generational, FAVE, the number 5 at gmail.com. Thank you all for tuning in.